Why, hello again. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Last week, I started out very strong with my weekly picks, but down the stretch, the last four or so games I got wrong. Ended up 11-5, which is pretty good. Pretty solid stretch. This week is a little bit more interesting. I feel like there are a lot more matchups that could really go either way that I don't really have a personal, solidified pick, like, oh, yeah, they're going to be better suited to win or whatever. So we're just going to kind of go with it. We're going to kind of roll down the line and see what happens here. So without further ado, Thursday Night Football, the Washington Commanders, 3.5-point underdogs, I believe, against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. I'm going to roll with that. I think it's going to be a very close, physical, and heavy. I wouldn't say there's going to be a lot of offense. I was going to say very heavily, heavy score-driven game, but I don't know. I feel like the Packers have the type of defense that can shut down Jayden Daniels. They also have a guy like Micah Parsons now, who is very familiar with Jayden Daniels. He played him twice last year, beat him once with Cooper Rush. So I want to say that there's potential for the Packers to really control this game. I'm going to give them the slight edge and win this one on Thursday night. And I can't wait to watch that one. You guys will see my reactions to it for sure tomorrow night. Absolutely. Sunday, we got the 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. I was going 49ers here, but Brock Purdy is very doubtful. He has a toe and a shoulder injury that he suffered in week 1. And George Kittle is already out for the foreseeable future with, I believe, a hamstring strain. Excuse me. So with that said, I'm going to lean my vote in a different way. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the 49ers are still very capable of winning this game, but the Saints also kind of showed me last week against one of the 49ers division rivals who I think will compete with the Niners and the Rams pretty well, and the Cardinals, that they're not as terrible. They definitely have a quarterback for the future, but at the same time, you just need to see everything else come together, and I feel like Kellen Moore really just needs to figure out what works for his team. And I think once he does that, they're actually not going to be like a 3-win team like I thought they were going to be. Maybe they could be a 6 or 7-win team. Still not fantastic, but still compete. And I think that they can here, and I'm going to go with them for the upset. Why the hell not? If Brock Purdy's not in, I really don't think that this 49ers team can beat the Saints. Bears at the Lions. This one's very interesting because it's Ben Johnson going back to Detroit. It's the Lions after getting absolutely steamrolled by the Packers. I want to root for the Lions in this one, or at least pick them for this. I feel like they are absolutely the better team. But the Bears have potential, and if Caleb Williams can just calm himself down, and if the Bears can have a solid run game consistently going and control things at the line of scrimmage, they could pull something off here. I initially picked the Bears. I think I'm going to stick with that for an upset for right now. That could change the closer we get to Sunday, but I really don't like to change my votes too much. So I'm going to just say screw it, go with the Bears. Bills in MetLife playing the Jets. Easily, the Jets are going to lose this one. I think that they'll put up more points than we expect because the Bills' defense didn't really give me a whole lot of hope against the Ravens. And to be fair, it is the Ravens. But the Jets have a good running back, group. Justin Fields can move himself pretty quickly out of the pocket and beat you with his legs. You got Breece Hall over there, so I'm not going to sleep on the Jets after the way they looked against the Steelers, but I'm going to go with the Bills. We got the Browns at the Ravens, NFC North showdown. I feel like the Ravens definitely get one back here. They win this one easily. I think the Browns will give them some trouble with scoring, but I don't think their defense is going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson, even with Myles Garrett. He might get a sack or two, a couple of pressures and QB hits, but nothing more. New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Giants defensively held their own against Jayden Daniels, but that offense is very, very depressing. I don't understand Brian Daboll. I don't understand Russell Wilson. I don't understand anybody outside of Malik Neighbors. I really don't understand anybody. Cowboys are going to win this game if their defense can play like they did against us, and they can put up points on a decent Giants defense. They can win this game, but I think they'll keep it close. I think the defense will definitely keep it close because the Giants do have a solid front four, solid linebacker group, so I'm going to Keep it close, but I'll give the Cowboys the slight edge. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are going to win this one. I think the Jags will make it interesting, but I think the Bengals are going to win this one and go 2-0 for a quick start to their season for once. Well, who would have thought, right? But it won't be pretty. That defense is very much a problem, and Joe Burrow and that offense looked horrible last week against the Browns, so it could really go either way. It might be a lot closer than people think. Patriots at the Dolphins, AFC East showdown. The Dolphins gave me a lot of reasons not to root for them anymore this year in my picks. They looked lifeless, they looked horrible, and now Tyreek Hill is being investigated for domestic violence. I think I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. Rams, Titans, Super Bowl, whatever number showdown that is, a rematch of that. I'm going to go with the Rams here. The Tennessee Titans have a lot to do, a lot to build up on their side of things. Cam Ward was really thrown to the wolves against one of the best defenses in the league, and now you're going up against a Rams defense with Jared Verse and that high-powered offense with Puka and Devontae. The Rams are going to win that one. Seattle Seahawks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to give the Steelers the edge in this one. I don't see how the Seahawks can compete. They had so many opportunities to beat the 49ers, who aren't even that spectacular of a team right now, and they're injured. And now you're going up against the Steelers, who look pretty solid offensively, and their defense is very opportunistic. Jalen Ramsey made the big play when it mattered most. Give me the Steelers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Buffalo. Denver Broncos at the Indianapolis Colts. I was thrown in for a loop with this one because the Broncos have a great defense, but they did not look good against the Titans on the offense. Bo Nix struggled a lot, and I don't know if that's going to be a regular thing with him. If he regresses this year, that Broncos team, everything that I said about them is going to go down south very fast. The Colts, on the other hand, Shane Steichen is one of the guys that I want to root for, and he made Daniel Jones look like $1 million last week. So I think I'm going to ride the high horse here. I'm going to go with the Colts while they're still hot. So Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Bryce Young experiment is definitely running its course. Did not look good last week whatsoever against the Jaguars, and I don't think it's going to look any better against another guy that I can root for in Jonathan Gannon. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals. Sunday Night Football, we got the Falcons on the road in Minnesota. This is a very weird matchup, and given how last week went on Sunday night, or on Monday night rather, the Vikings can put up points and they can come back if you let them linger for too long. I think the Falcons are overall the better football team right now, but they can't close out games. I had the Falcons to win this one. I'm going to change my vote and give the home team the respect they deserve. J.J. McCarthy really surprised me in that second half. I'm going to go with Minnesota to win this game. If they can play like they did in the second half, they could be a problem in the NFC. The Falcons I had as a sleeper wildcard team, but if they can't figure out how to finish a game with all the talent that they have, then it's just going to be 28-3 for the rest of their franchise history. Like that's putting it lightly. Monday Night Football doubleheader. We got the Bucs and the Texans, and then the Chargers and Raiders. Gonna just go real quick with this and just give it the Bucs and the Chargers. Both road teams are gonna win this game. These games, I don't see the Texans as a team right now that scares anybody. I think they're very overrated. I think the Colts and Jags have a chance to compete heavily for that division, and I hate to say that because I want to root for D'Amico and CJ Stroud and all of them, but they looked lifeless against the playoff team in the Rams, so I can't go that way. The Chargers looked great against the Chiefs, and while the Raiders also surprised me, it was against the Patriots, who are still a rebuilding team. The Chargers are a playoff team in that near win now scenario right now, so I think they're going to pull this one off. Eagles and Chiefs, saving that for Friday. You know how I do. Let me know what your picks are in the comments down below and how you did in week 1, and I'll see y'all later. Fly Eagles Fly. Peace out.